Okay, so welcome to the class, and we are again meeting after a week, a long time. Okay, till that time, in the last week, we have seen what is resource, their types as well. We have seen, and how that resources are being conserved, classification of resources, and that we have seen on the basis of origin, development, okay, sustainability of resources, review the scenarios and summit, then agenda 21, resource planning, and a process of resource planning, like how can we conserve them, or we can plan them to be used over there. Okay, those things had been learned over there. Now, like once now conservation of resources was also talked. I had given you some tips as well, like how to conserve the resources and at what level we can have the responsibility, and even what is the responsibility of government. That also we have seen, methods we had seen. After that, we saw what is land resource, how land is utilized in our country, its proportion as well. This was also talked, okay, on that day. And after that, we had seen the use of land and how is it used as at for which purpose the land is being used, at what proportion. That also we had seen. Land use pattern in India, that also was discussed. It is over 80% in Punjab and Haryana, but less than 10% in Arunachal Pradesh, Mizoram, Manipur, and Andaman and Nicobar Island. So this is what we see, that net zone area and the area which is having such kind of land where cultivation is not possible, that kind of area or that kind of land is also covered over there, but that is not net zone area. And through this we can have the shortage of grains as our population is growing up rapidly. Okay, yesterday only I read a news there that by 2100, the year 2100, like it was 2000 now after 100 years, means after 78 years, our population would be reduced by 41 crore. It was a news yesterday. Okay, news in the sense, I just there was a feed in my laptop, oh sorry, in my mobile, so I just read that. So I thought, if it is reduced by 41 crore in 2000, means 2100, so what about these years? Like 78 years are there. So at what rate the population would be increased? It was a question for me. And how the land and other resources can survive till that time. If the land is used at this rate and even the resources are used at this rate. See, this is not the topic over here that we should think on it, but ultimately we are living here in this country, and it is, as a responsible person or citizen, it is our duty to concern all those things, to be concerned. Understood? Ultimately you people will also be grown up, and definitely you will be using all the resources in the country. What would you pass on to your next generation? Is there anything left? As today only we are finding or facing difficulties to fetch the fresh water. As you can think about fresh water in Rajasthan, just imagine the condition or situation in Rajasthan. Today also, they are fetching fresh water from a long distance, as its population is also sparse there. But still it is facing that problem. Why? Only because of much resources are not available, many resources are not available there, and in the same thing, like they are degrading. Okay, they are degrading. Are you getting understood? I'm sorry, just wait a minute. Actually, I did not put my laptop on charging and it is indicating me. Will you wait?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry for the late. Now let us understand what is land degradation. As the definition is suggesting over there, land degradation and conservation measures are being put over there, and they are to be understood over there, like cutting down trees and even overgrazing, mining, lots of things are there that we are going to understand here. Okay, mineral processing, industrial influence, these are the things that are affecting the land usage and even its fertility also, even its fertility also. Are you getting the point? Okay, so whenever we say that land degradation is the result of continuous use of land over a long period of time without taking appropriate measures to conserve and maintain it, this definition is very, very important. Huh? This is a definition that you have to put over there. Suppose they are asking you, the board is asking you, like, what is the main cause of land degradation in Gujarat, Rajasthan, and Madhya Pradesh? This, how can it be checked? This is the actually question. It is based upon the particular reason. But in general, suppose they are asking you question that what is land degradation? So you should put this definition over there. What is land degradation? Understood? I'm removing the underlined portion so that you can see properly. And we are not taking proper measure to conserve and maintain it. And it is being used for a long time. That is called land degradation. Human activities have not only brought about degradation of land, but have also aggravated the pace of natural forces to cause damage to land. In the sense what? See, activities are at one hand, okay, but due to these activities, we have invited some other natural calamities, and those natural calamities are causing more than the human activities. And for that, on that also, human activities are responsible. But still, the degradation is done by the natural calamities first. By the natural calamities first. Are you getting the point? Okay. So what are the causes that are really responsible, for the land degradation? First is mining and quarrying. Mining are abundant after the excavation work is over or mine gets exhausted, leaving deep scars and traces of overburning. Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, and Odisha suffer from severe land degradation due to mining. See, in India, eastern part is totally occupied with mines. There, mining is taking place at rapid rate, and with that rate, nothing is to be done for the land uplift or land fertility. We are just extracting the things and we are leaving those pits as it is.
Sir, which mines, sir?
Coal mines, especially.
Okay, sir.
Coal mines, especially mineral mines. Okay, lots of mines are there in eastern parts, but especially like coal mines are more activate there in eastern part of India. Like not eastern part, not go there in Andhra Pradesh, sorry, Arunachal Pradesh or Assam or something else. You just go here only, like Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, okay, some part of Bihar, some part of West Bengal. In these states, the mining is at its rapid rate, okay, and that is why the land is degrading over there. Now, whenever we say that mining is done, so mining causes pollution as well. Sorry. Are you agree to this? Mining causes pollution.
Yes,
As
sir.
it is leading towards the air pollution, noise pollution, lots of pollutions that we face there, and most of the people are falling ill, okay, due to that pollution. Next is overgrazing. Whenever we see the cattle, they are grazing, but if they are grazing on the same land for a long time, so definitely that grass would not like get time to be renewed over there. And suppose at the same area, at the same land, you are making the cattle to be grazed, definitely if the grass is not coming into their mouth or it is not possible for them to be cut with the teeth, so they will just excavate it or just uproot it, and that makes or that leads toward the land degradation. It is the main reason of land degradation in states like Gujarat, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Maharashtra, where the people are making the cattle to graze over there on the land. Over irrigation. What is over irrigation? Whenever we make the water to flow without any barrier, it causes water logging that leads to salinity and alkalinity in soil. Over irrigation in the sense, sometimes more than the needed water, we use that water, and that water lags behind, and that water makes that land like salty or saline, and through that it leads towards the land degradation and it loses its fertility. Understood? Mineral processing, another point. See better, these causes, suppose the question is there that what is land degradation, elaborate with the causes, so you should write these points there. Understood? Are you getting the point?
Sir.
So mineral processing, grinding of stones for cement and ceramic industry generates huge quantity of dust in the atmosphere. This is real air pollution. These dirt particles settle down on the soil, affecting the pace of infiltration of water into the soil. Means it actually restricts the water to be absorbed by the soil. The water to be absorbed by the land or soil, and that is why it does not get that much fertility, or it cannot improve or cannot increase its fertility there. Are you? Then industrial influence. It is a major problem. What is influence? The wastage. What are influence? The wastage. Are you all there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please turn on your videos. Please turn on your videos. Confirm it that you all are there. Shreyan, Harshil, Karthikeya is already Udbhav. Bhumika is there. Where is that girl? Like Sharanya is also there. Harini is not there. Deepshika is not there. They have not joined the class today. Okay, let it be, no matter. Okay, just see. And these points are very important that you should take a note of all. Understood? Are you getting?
Sir.
Everyone, nobody will just switch or turn off the video. Everyone has to turn on the video. Industrial influence are the influence which are wastage of industries. Okay, what do? Actually, whatever the influence they release from the industry or factory, so that goes into the land where it is fertile. And that land, if fertile land is receiving such kind of waste over there, so it causes water pollution, and also it leads towards the degradation of the nearby land. Okay, not only that land upon which it is traveling, but the land where it is traveling, the beside land, the nearby land is also affected due to these wastes. Okay, so this is all about the land degradation and its causes. Now, how can we conserve it? Now, we say most of the times that it is the responsibility of government that it should take care. It should take care of everything. Like everything means it should restrict these industries. It should restrict these mines. But how a development can take place? Okay, without these processes. So still, we as a responsible people or responsible citizen, we can go for that. We can ask the people not to do the things, and we can make them to understand the importance of environment. If it is not there, so human life is also not there. Such kind of things we can tell, but that is actually only on paper. We cannot like actually put it in the practical. So first of all, if you want to conserve the land, you can go for forestry, that is afforestation, planting trees on cultivable waste land, and minimize land degradation. First thing, we should plant the trees. Okay. Then control on overgrazing. We should restrict the areas. We should reserve those areas where overgrazing is taking place. It will help in maintaining vegetation cover on land, check soil erosion and even degradation or desertification. Check soil erosion, it means its nutrients or its like fertile soil would not be traveling from one place to another. It will be remaining there only, and it will grow the vegetation cover on the land. Third thing is planting of shelter belts. Such belts help check wind erosion of soil, wind erosion. Shelter belts in the sense, if we are planting the trees on a particular stipulated land, that is shelter, and that will check on the wind erosion, that it would not like wash out the land from there. Understood? Next is planting of stabilization of sand dunes. Growing thorny bushes can check movement of sand dunes. Okay, sand dunes generally they are found in the deserts. Understood? And they can check on the sand erosion. Proper management of wasteland. Management, how can we manage the wasteland? As we can afforest it, as we can reserve it for several years so that it can grow up with some vegetables and all. Okay, land reclamation process can help in making wasteland useful and productive. Reclamation means that we give it time to recover its fertility, to gain its fertility again. Okay, proper agricultural practices like crop rotation, strip farming, lots of things are there so that the land would not lose its like fertility. Then control of mining activities. It is a major problem of many countries. Use of advanced technologies, proper regulations and control is necessary. Control of mining activity. And these activities can be controlled by the government only, particular state government or the central government. That it should put, any government, it should put the restrictions upon the use, means innumerable uses of mining, innumerable excavation over there. Okay, that should be checked on by the government. These are some conservative methods that we should take place. Okay, understood? Now let us understand soil as a resource. Now we have seen what is land and its causes to be degraded and what are the measures to be conserving it. Now next is soil as a resource. Now it is a thick portion. Sorry, we can't say thick, but it is the okay. It is the thin layer that we can find it on the surface of the earth, and it is very, very important also, as it is the only root over there. Sorry, we can say the initial phase for any root to be grown up there. Okay, so soil is loose material formed on the surface of the earth crust. Soil is formed due to denudation and weathering of rocks. Denudation, when it becomes like very fragile and it just spread over the crust of the earth. It consists of organic and inorganic materials like air, water, and many organisms. Temperature, running water, wind, and glaciers, activities of decomposers, etc., contribute to the formation of soil. Lots of factors are there which are contributing to the soil formation. To the soil formation. Are you getting? Okay. Next is, it takes millions of years to form a few centimeter deep soil layer. Millions of years. As the denudation and weathering of rocks, actually it takes a lot of time to just cover the land with 1 centimeter as well. It takes a lot of time, many years. Soil is a living system as it is a medium of plant growth and supports life of different organisms. Soil is very, very important for us, not only us, but for every living being. Okay, as it needs the growth, especially the plant. Okay, which are vegetable and vegetation, we may say. Understood? Let us understand here. See, one question is given over here. Explain the 3 factors responsible for soil formation. Why is soil considered as a resource? Explain with 5 arguments. So you can write from here. Okay, whatever the arguments you can make over here, stretch your answer all the time. Stretch your answer. Suppose you have 4 to 5 points, so stretch them to at least 7 to 8 points for your answer for 5 marks question. Understood? Are you getting? So that you will cover every mark over there. And in SST there is no cut in marks until unless it is not related to the question or not stick to the point. Understood? So classification of soils, like first of all, soil is classified on the basis of its color, thickness, texture, age, color. It is based on like black or regur or something. Thickness, how much water can it retain? Texture, whenever we whenever we touch it, so its texture is also, it also matters there. Age, okay, how many years that soil is not being used and what can it produce, chemical and physical properties. Upon these six things, oh sorry, five things, we can determine the classification of soil. First of all, alluvial soil. Where does this soil find? These soils are depositional work of three main Himalayan rivers system like Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. This is the mostly found soil in India. Actually, its proportion is more than other soils in India. Are you getting the point? Okay. And it is actually the land, or sorry, soil, which is formed with the three basins of the river system of India, like Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra. Types on the basis of age. See, alluvial soil is now divided into two: Khadar, that is new alluvium, and Bangar, that is old alluvium. What is Khadar and what is Bangar? Khadar is the alluvial
Sir,
soil which is formed newly. It means newly in the sense not just yesterday, but it has also taken a lot of period to be formed, but it is, as compared to Bangar, it is new. And Bangar is the soil which can be deeply found there, okay, and it took also millions of years. Yes, someone was telling something.
sir, I have a doubt.
No.
Sir, more than in these Indus Ganga Brahmaputra plains, we can find it more in near Western Ghats, no, sir.
Mhm.
Then
Yeah,
why we say Ganga Brahmaputra and Indus?
yes, repeat your question.
Why do we say Ganga, Indus, and Brahmaputra forms most of the alluvial soil?
Why do we say that these rivers form alluvial soil in the most proportion, more
Yes,
proportion?
sir.
Yeah, actually, what, these are the biggest river system in India, as Ganga is the biggest one, okay, and alluvial soil is nothing but the depositional work of these rivers. As every year we see that these rivers flow with use water in them, and they can transform that water into the flood situation there, and that flood water can deposit, it's all depositional things, okay, depositional things in other land, okay, and that is why we say that Ganga, Indus, and Brahmaputra make alluvial soil in most of the proportion, okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
what is, I was here like Kadar and Bangar, does anybody know?
Yes, sir.
Yes, so what is Bangar?
Sir, it is mostly found in Himachal and in near Western Ghats.
Western Ghats.
Yeah, sir. Western and Eastern Ghats.
Actually, what Khadar and Bangar, these soil types of alluvial soil, they are depending upon the fertility. Upon what? Fertility.
Fertility.
Bangar is less fertile and Khadar is more fertile. Okay, then Bangar. Why is it so? Because Khadar, as we have already learned, Khadar is the newly formed alluvium soil. Whether Bangar is the old soil, okay, which is not fertile that much, and it can found over there, as we have already seen that Indus, Ganga, and Brahmaputra, due to their flood situation, they deposit their depositional work, okay, on that land, that old land, and that become unfertile or non-fertile there. Okay, that is called Bangar, and the Khadar is the soil where it is a new soil which is formed just now in the sense not before 100 days, like 1 month or 2 months. It takes also a lot of time. Okay, characteristics of alluvial soil, it is actually most fertile. Why it is most fertile? Because it is made up of depositional work, and where there is depositional work of any river, so that land or that soil becomes very fertile, finely grained, and have proportions of sand, silt and clay. Why silt and clay? So that it can retain water in it. Okay, it is rich in potash, phosphoric acid, and lime, which are very important ingredients for the land fertility. It is deficient in nitrogen and humus. It is suitable for cultivation of cereals, pulses, oil seeds, sugarcane. Means these crops or those crops which take or which require much water throughout the year. Okay, those kind of crops can be cultivated in such land. Areas occupied in the entire northern plain, where we may say, okay, whatever the head, I don't know. Okay, the northern plain actually covers this area, like this one. Okay, where some part of Madhya Pradesh, some part of and most of the part of Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Uttarakhand, Assam, most of the part of West Bengal. Okay, such places are called under northern plain. Deltas of Mahanadi is here somewhere in Odisha. Godavari, Kaveri along the coast of Kerala, Assam, and some parts of Rajasthan and Gujarat as well. As these are the parts where alluvial soil is found mostly. Why? Because here we may see the depositional work is done more than any other rivers. Okay. Second thing is black soil. Have you got with the alluvial soil?
Sir, I have a doubt.
Yes.
Sir, in the textbook, it's written that the soils also extend in Rajasthan and Gujarat through a narrow corridor. What is exactly a narrow corridor?
See, narrow corridor in the sense, in a very little area it is available. Narrow corridor in the sense, which is very small area. Let me tell you. Okay, so whenever we see this Gujarat and Rajasthan's area from here, okay, actually in Gujarat and Rajasthan as well, river, see in Rajasthan we know that there are very less river or no river. If suppose you are saying that no river, but there are some rivers like I'm not getting the name right now, but there are some rivers which are having their own like area from where they are flowing, and the water is being provided from here, from this area, and they come over here, and their deltaic region where they are actually meeting to the Arabian Sea, there they found or they form the alluvial soil. Okay, that is why it is said that it is formed there in the narrow corridor of Rajasthan and Gujarat, and it does not cover most of the area in Rajasthan and Gujarat. Okay, very small proportion of area is covered with alluvial soil, very small. Have
Okay,
you
sir.
got? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Black soil is very important soil which can retain water as alluvial soil. Okay, but this soil can be found here in Chota Nagpur plateau and here in Maharashtra, some part of Madhya Pradesh as well. Okay, this is also called as Deccan plateau, Maharashtra, Saurashtra, that is in Gujarat, Madhwa, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, and some parts of Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka as well. But first of all, we'll see what is black soil. Actually, these soils were formed due to weathering of lava rocks in the Deccan Trap, that is basalt. That rock type is basalt. Okay, and due to the formations, these lava rocks were crushed, and due to the weathering and due to their deposition on the soil, that become black soil. Okay, and this black soil is definitely in color, it is black. It is also called as Regur soil. Okay, extremely fine with clay material. Whenever you see somewhere clay, in the sense it may retain water, huh? It may retain water, no doubt there. Rich in nutrients like potash, magnesium, lime, calcium. Deficient in nitrogen. Deficient means it has very less, like proportion of nitrogen and phosphoric acid. Black soil has large capacity to hold water. See, just told you before some time. These soils develop large and deep cracks, which help in aeration. Yes, aeration. Aeration in the sense it allows to go air into it, inside it. Are you getting the point? Black soils are suitable for cotton, especially. This crop is mostly cultivated with black soil. As in my locality as well, cotton is the main actually cultivated crop over here, cash crop, okay, which is cultivated in black soil. Are you getting? Whenever there is no rainfall, it may have cracks in it and it allows the air to get into it, so that the soil, whenever there would be rainfall and it receives the sufficient rainfall over there, so it would not like lose its fertility. Okay, I'm not saying that air is the factor which retain the fertility of the land. I'm not saying this, but somewhat, okay, somewhat it retains with that. Red and yellow soil, just you understand where these soils are found, okay, in the map of India. These soils, if you are finding in the right places, definitely on the map work you will not get any kind of difficulty there. Shall I share that map with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll be sharing that. I think at the end of the notes I have that soil. Yes, it is major soil types. Yes, these are the soils that you may find over here. I don't think, yes, is it clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, see, the index also is given. Forest and mountains where there is green, alluvial, red and yellow soil, black soil, laterite and arid. See beta, whenever you are going to indicate the soil over there, na, so you will have to give that index properly, and for that you need to show the particular soil with the particular pattern or shadow. Okay, understood, upon the map, otherwise it will not be considered. Got it? Index is very, very important while you are indicating. If you are indicating the soil, no need to write on this portion that this is mountainous or forest land and all. If you are indicating this pattern here in this index now, so it is sufficient. Okay, but suppose there is the political map of India, and if you are writing something like, you have to tell where Amritsar is. So Amritsar is somewhere here, so you need to point it out properly. You have to draw a line over here. You have to write there Amritsar, and you even have to write if suppose some incident been asked over there, like Jallianwala Bagh. So you need to write there Jallianwala Bagh massacre, Amritsar, here in 1919. That impacts a lot, and it helps the evaluator as well to understand or recognize the things properly. Otherwise, and here you need to prepare the index. You just give the number to it. Suppose it is on one number. So you have to write first here, write Amritsar. So this and this is matching. So you will get one mark for that if you are writing or presenting it properly. Are you getting my point? How to do the map?
Yes, sir.
While indicating the soil and land pattern and all, so you need to do this. No need to write this is alluvial, this is what, and that is what, like, okay. No need to write. Only you indicate the pattern with its name. That's all. That will work over there. But in case of soil and land only, not if suppose you have to indicate any place, so you need to write in such a way. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was there. If suppose we are living with any lands like soil type, so please complete it by your own. And if suppose you are getting any problem, so please let me know. Okay. Red and yellow soil. Such soils are formed by the weathering of igneous and metamorphic. See, black soil, how would you understand it? Black soil, you just think of lava. Red and yellow soil, you just think of weathering of igneous and metamorphic rock. These soils surround the black soil mostly on their east and south. What are the characteristics? That soil is in red color. Actually, the soil is given the same color over there and the name also there. Okay. To the soil, it is deficient in nitrogen, humus, and phosphoric acid, and lime as well. These are suitable for cultivation of cotton. It has more proportion of these all. Rice, pulses, tobacco, and jawar. These are some crops which can be cultivated on this land, on this soil. Areas: eastern and southern parts of Deccan Plateau, parts of Odisha, Chhattisgarh, Andhra Pradesh, predominant zone of Western Ghats as well, where there is very lower part. Okay, there of Western Ghat, it may found red soil. Here on this, where the leeward side is, okay, where there is leeward side, there you may find this soil in Western Ghats. Leeward side, I hope that you know what is leeward side. What is leeward side? Suppose it is a mountain and the moisture laden air comes over here and it makes the clouds.
So the area where the clouds are formed, like where the rain falls.
Okay, the clouds are made to fall the rain over here only, and whatever the clouds are remaining there, they are crossing this mountain, and some proportion, a very little portion of water or rainfall we can see here on this side, or else it is not rain at all. So this is called leeward side and this is called windward side. Okay, this is called leeward side and this is called windward side. Because why? These clouds are falling their rain on this side only. That is what happened here in Western Ghat as well. Okay, Western Ghat is covered with which mountainous ranges, mountain ranges? Yes, students, which mountain range is there in Western Ghat? Sahyadri Mountains. Okay.
So which one can you repeat?
Sahyadri hills are there in Western Ghats. Laterite soil. In the Latin word later, which means brick. In Latin word, it develops in areas with high temperature and heavy rainfall, which results in intense leaching. Means if suppose there is high rainfall with high temperature, so what will produce there? Humidity, isn't it? That is only called leaching. So these are made up of clay and gravel of red sandstone. Gravel means what? Small stones, which are generally round in shape. Okay. So due to these, this lateral soil is made red in color, poor in nitrogen, potash, organic matter, poor humus content as well. Lateritic soils are mostly deep to very deep. Okay, acidic as well. pH minus means less than, sorry, pH level is less than 6.0. But such soils can be made suitable for cultivation by adding manure and fertilizers. Actually, they are depending for their cultivation of any crop, manures and fertilizers. After adopting appropriate soil conservation techniques, particularly in the hilly areas of Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, this soil is very useful for growing tea and coffee. Okay, so this kind of land, soil you can find in Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Understood? Suppose we are conserving it properly, we are adding some fertilizers to it, so it is very useful to cultivate tea and coffee. And most of the coffee we find in Kerala, right? From Kerala we get coffee, and most of the coffee is being cultivated on laterite soil, arid soil. Such soils are formed under the arid and semi-arid conditions, especially in Rajasthan. Okay, this is red and brown in color, red and brown in color, then very low nitrogen and humus content, sandy and saline in nature, low moisture content due to high temperature, evaporation rate is higher in the lower horizon cankers. Okay, they are called as cankers are found that restrict infiltration of water. Cankers in the kankers, this that we say kankar. Have you got the name kankar? It is the Hindi word that is used there in Rajasthan. Okay, for small stones that do not infiltrate, or they do not allow water to infiltrate there in the soil. Such soils are cultivable under proper irrigation system. It needs a lot of water to be fertile. Indira Gandhi Canal has increased the cultivation area in the arid regions of western Rajasthan. Only that canal is the lifeline for that soil in western Rajasthan. Forest. See better now. If you are having any problem, any doubt, I told you earlier, if suppose we are living with something, so you may go through that and you can ask me that. Understood? Later on. But are you getting the point? Rest of
Yes,
the
sir.
rest of the things I'll be telling you in English class, if suppose we are leaving something over here, and then we will continue with English. Okay, till that time, thank you very much for joining the class. You will have this recording on YouTube. Okay, you may go through that. Thank you.